Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B,
Oh
and
my god,
this
it's really
is
dark. Sorry, one sec. Don't cut that.
okay. So this is why your music sucks, and this is the second episode. It's actually been like 2 months since we recorded the first one, which was about confidence. I cannot even remember much about what we talked about, but I remember that we talked about having the confidence to release your music and things like that. And now we're going to move on to another topic, which is quite fresh, I think, from the past week, and we'll go into why in a bit. Uh, but it's to do with taking criticism. Um, we've got a story from last week, haven't we? We did some reactions
We did
to some artists. What happened, Ben?
a couple. Um, I think they weren't happy with the criticism that came from us. I think they thought that we were sometimes a bit unfair. But if you want honest reactions, that's what you're going to get. I mean, you paid us to react to your stuff, and and we're not going to give a dishonest review. Maybe we could have been a little bit less,
I
I don't
see.
know, harsh, but
We weren't. There's
it's
a
it's it,
difference, isn't there,
it's
between
a live
harsh and mean?
reaction though, isn't it? And you can't. Sometimes it's difficult to like not be in the moment.
Mm,
You know what I mean? To take. I mean, maybe we should have taken a step back and think about how we say it. But also, you shouldn't be so upset or butthurt about criticism.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so on the subject of not taking criticism well, I've done this for about a year now, and you guys joined me about halfway through it, I think. And reacting to some artists, there can be some that take the criticism on board really well, are really grateful for it, and then work to improve their craft. And
Yeah,
then there are some that can't handle it. And I mean, it's no secret that I use Fiverr to, people pay me to review. Um, and there are people that will give a bad review of my reaction to their music because I didn't particularly enjoy it. Um, but my Fiverr title says I will give an honest reaction to your music, and we pride ourselves on that.
yeah.
I think we
We're not
all,
gonna give it.
yeah,
We're not gonna give a dishonest review. If you want an honest reaction, we will give you an honest reaction.
mm,
And that's just what you get. That's it. It's genuine reaction. We don't listen to the music beforehand or anything like that.
no.
So
I think you
what
can
makes sense,
also
isn't it?
tell in a reaction video when someone's being over the top about a song and like they're
Mm.
way too into it and being way too positive of something that isn't that good. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys have watched reaction videos and you've seen that.
See what?
Have you seen people like overly reacting to?
I feel like when there's money on the line, people feel obligated to give a flattering review of music. Um, and I think that says more about the person reacting to it than it does about the song,
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
yeah,
I think I think personally 99% of reaction videos out there are people overdoing their expressions and everything because you have to, and that's the industry we're trying to get into. But
Yeah.
honestly, but obviously doing it honestly isn't going to be this, it's not going to get you there. Oh my god, look at this guy react, because you're not actually
mm,
listening to what they're reacting to. You're looking at him reacting to it.
yeah,
Whereas these people that we review, we kind of want them to listen to their music and listen to us. Whereas
yeah,
Yeah.
the people that react to other videos that either I see, they couldn't care less if you go and listen to the artist. They just want to get famous, like us.
yeah,
But we also want the other thing.
yeah.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
we have
Yeah.
recently we've been trying to react to and review quite popular music, things that seem to be getting quite popular because
Yeah.
we want the views, and the idea is to grow the channel so that other people will enjoy it. But I do see a lot of like I saw recently, it's like a 30-year-old guy, bit like us, and it said like reacting to Linkin Park in the end for the first time. And I looked at it and I was like, I cannot believe that this guy has gone 30 years and he hasn't heard In the End, either playing on the radio or just somewhere.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time, like listening to System of a Down for the first time or something. I just think there are people out there that will maybe have heard it and not realize it's System Down and they're listening to it the first time, but I think sometimes they're just being fake. So I think the first thing to clear up is that we try our hardest, even though we are paid to react to music, we try our hardest to be as honest as we can. But
also, not all of our reactions are paid.
No.
Are they?
No.
Most of them aren't.
Most of them aren't paid.
Yeah.
If not
and
all,
we still give but we still give the exact same commitment, exact same energy to non-paid as we do to paid. Do you know what I mean? Because we want to react. And just going back on what Scott said earlier about, how people watch people react to stuff. When I have ever watched someone react to a song or whatever, it's more because they're reacting to a song that I like, so I want to see how they perceive the song.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is they're reacting to.
It's that confirmation bias, isn't it? Like when someone releases a new song, I want to see someone react to it because then I can be like, oh, this guy likes it too, like me, and then I feel better about my choices, and that's what all humans want.
I send to my friends though, and say, "Do you like this?"
You never send anything to us.
I sent something to Callum once. I show people. Well, I mean, I show things to people at work. Yeah. Let's say I don't.
Yeah. It's a bit like when when you were in school and you're like, "Hey, I found this really funny YouTube video," and you show it to your friends, and they're just not finding it funny.
Don't understand.
Yeah,
that's devastating.
Like trying to see.
And then after that,
you
you never show anything of what you like on YouTube or anything like that to any of your mates after that because they just look at you weird, and you're like, "Yeah, maybe I am."
But that's it. That comes down to taking criticism. Like sometimes you could show someone a video, they don't like it. I'm still going to watch it. I still like it. But some people are like, I'm never going to do that again. And for musicians, that happens a lot because musicians have to show their music to people, and they're either going to love it or hate it. And
the internet is a harsh place, man. The internet is a very harsh place. And if anything, look, we're putting our faces out there, giving criticism, and we're happy to take it back. That's fine. But a lot of the internet will sit behind a keyboard and will give you, abuse for something that you've put your heart and soul into, and won't care anything, won't care two seconds about how you feel about it.
Yeah. And I know how it feels like. I've shown my family my music, and granted, some of my music is very out there and weird, and I know when they like it and when they don't. They're very kind about it, but they're just like, "Oh, that's nice," but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to like it, especially when you talk about your family members. Some are 20, 30 years older than you, and some are younger than you. They're not going to like it, are they?
Some family members can be brutal and be like, that's terrible. Some can be overly nice.
Sorry.
But some can be like in the middle, on the fence. Some people can be really supportive. But in some way, asking some strangers on the internet to critique your music is, that for a lot of people, easier because there's none of that family attachment at all to it, or friends attachment. It's some stranger, and you can kind of push yourself away from it. Okay, they didn't like it, but I'm not really connected in any way to them, so that feels okay. But some can find it really hard. Yeah, it can be easier to dismiss it.
It's just, this guy, as far as I'm concerned, this guy's just being an idiot on the internet trolling me. Like every single thing he ever did, he'd be like, but I am clearly hilarious and make great songs. This guy is just a troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what some people have to remember is that it's just 3 guys here who have been reacting to stuff. It was 3. And there's like 90 million people out there who would like it, or
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot we grew up in the early 2000s, 90s as well, but like the music that I'm very much influenced by is early 2000s and 2010s, that kind of music. Yeah, exactly. A bit of
hey, copyright strike. Stop singing.
A bit of Blue and a bit of Lamar. No, and but like Blink-182, System of a Down, Linkin Park, all that kind of stuff heavily influenced my taste in music. But also, I like rap. I also like dance. Also like EDM, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, I mean, a good song's a good song. I can appreciate a good song in a genre I hate, as long as I know it's a good song. And we do try to be funny, but I don't think we're ever mean. And that's where some people can go wrong in their critiques. They can just be all out mean. But I've never felt like we've been mean. But a good song's a good song, and if it's liked, it's liked. I think I struggle mainly with newer, more out there stuff, hyper pop stuff, but I can still try and appreciate it, and
You still know a song that's been mixed well. You can still tell if it's a well-made song. You can still tell if the singer's good or whatever. It's well mixed. And there's certain characteristics that make a song a good song. It doesn't have to necessarily be the genre that you like.
Yeah. So I don't know what the message is really here, but I think it's
stop being mean to us.
Stop
Don't review our reviews.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a message. I think this is just us having a chat.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we trying to say like, take criticism better? Don't take it too harshly.
No, be yourself. If you take it harshly, fair enough. But try and use it to improve or don't improve. But if you want to take it badly, take it badly. It's on you at the end of the day.
The problem is someone could just say like, "Oh, I don't like your song," and you could take that as they hate me, and then you really hate them for it's like you feel like it's an attack on you. Because music is very personal, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And you've like poured your heart into, you spend hours and days even making, and then someone's just listened to it and in the space of 3 minutes said they don't like it. That can be heartbreaking.
Is this something that personally happened to you, that then you hated that person because they didn't like something which they're completely entitled not to like?
Yeah.
Has that happened to you?
Yeah, definitely a lot.
And then how did you change? Because that's your problem, not theirs.
Well, I went with the mentality
that they weren't just, like I say, as long as they weren't just trolling you and just being like,
yeah,
you shit, without even listening to it.
I stopped. You know what I mean? I just stopped trying to. I think every musician, or a lot of musicians, start out thinking my end goal is to become famous, and there are millions of musicians out there. And why should the end goal be that you need to become famous? So the moment I thought about that, I went, no, the end goal isn't to become famous. Yeah, sure, if people like my music, they like my music. But the odds are there's going to be more people that don't like it than do. It's very rare that loads of people like your music. And you also have to have other factors as well. So I kind of realized that and went, you know what? I'm just going to make music for me. And then if people like it, that's fine.
Yeah,
I think as well, like I was going back to what you were saying earlier, I think there's like there's an element of quality control as well that you need to be putting into your own work. Not you specifically, but anyone making, like, even if it's your own work, you can tell if it's bad or not. I know, like you like you say, you put your heart and soul into it and stuff like that. But if you sit down and look at your work or listen to your work, you know if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Not always. Not always.
Do you not think?
Not always. Not if you've never made a song properly in my life, other than when Callum's there. If you put all your time in it and you change all these things and you keep going, and you listen to it 1,000 times over and over, and you convince yourself this is good. And you know what? It might be good to you, but it doesn't mean it's good to someone else.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you can't, quality control yourself, but you can only quality control yourself to your own likes or dislikes.
Yeah.
And you're always going to be biased towards, a lot of people will be biased towards themselves.
That's why you have people that you are, willing to share with and willing to take criticism of. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of musicians have teams. They have a group of people that are going to help them make this song.
Yeah.
A band. Obviously, they all have an input. Even if it's a solo artist, they still definitely have people who will give inputs onto what they think should be changed or what should stick.
Yeah.
So I think,
or you're just some kid in your bedroom making tunes.
Yeah.
Putting them on the internet.
Thing is, your reaction, your review can be the quality control, can't it? As long as you take it as that and build upon it next time, then that's fine. Some people don't have many people to show it to, or they feel afraid to maybe show their family or their friends. So they'd rather just get strangers to do it. And that can be the quality control. As long as you take it as that and build on it instead of just retreating. If someone doesn't like it, you can be at risk of not making music again, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Do you remember that song we made a couple of years ago?
She's Out of My League, that one.
No, we did a song. We got the vocals off like a sample website, didn't we? Where I saw the vocals on.
Yes, That was a
We
good-
should release that on the channel and see what people think of it and get them to react to it.
I've still got it, you know, so I could do.
Yeah,
It's called Grown Bone.
yeah,
Yeah. I think your brother
I really
liked it,
love the
Ben.
name.
yeah. I
Already
liked it. I
love
liked
it.
it a lot as well. We released it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So maybe what we should do is maybe we should have Scott react to it while we see his reaction,
Yeah.
and
My
we can
reaction
see if
would
he
never be-
has.
My reaction would never be true, though, would it? Because it would always be one way. or
You've
the
never
other.
heard. You've
Just-
never heard it though, have you?
Yeah, but just because you've never heard something before doesn't mean you're going to react truthfully to it, does it?
Yeah.
It's not like I've got no block on my emotion and I can't hear something coming and I'm just like if I want to be funny,
Say
I'm
that again.
just sitting like, what a prick. If, you know, or I'm going to sit there and go, even before you think about it, you go, I'm not going to like this because I don't like
Ben and Callum made it.
because Ben and Callum made it. Or
Yeah.
like a lot of people, you get awkward for the person. So I don't like going to like school plays of family members and stuff like that because you get like secondhand awkwardness.
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment. That's it.
Embarrassment.
You might absolutely love it, but actually you're just getting this secondhand. They might be smashing it, you know what I mean? But you get this secondhand emotion to it. So
Sounds like more of a you problem.
Right. So what we've got is a song that Ben and I made one day when we decided.
5 years ago.
Yeah, we wanted to be a band, and then nothing ever came of it after that. It was like an effort to do it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We wanted to do something. So Ben came round. We made this song called "Grown Bone." With this,
The vocals were from where were they from?
I think it was Looperman or something. It was royalty-free vocals, anyway. It's called "Grown Bone." So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask for Scott's opinion at different points in this. On the podcast, I won't play the whole thing, but
Why not?
Oh, we could do. We'll see how it goes, shall we? There's no copyright on it, so the podcast won't pick it up.
Yeah. Do, 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 do. I forget how Halloweeny it sounds.
Lucid awake in a dream and improving and making a sight of the plan. Whoa. Adapt for the wave in the studio, playing they fight to Milan. Whoa. Used to be doing what I tell them now, never do cause it don't look right for the brand. But you man are part of the reason I'm here with a mic in my hand. Like, I do not feel what I'm getting into, be the gun that take me to the grave.
Scott, thoughts?
yeah, the beat's good behind it. I can't quite hear what the guy's saying. I don't
It
know
needs to
whether
be a
I'm
bit louder, yeah.
I've not got
Vocals
loud
need to be a
enough
bit
for you,
louder.
but I can't really hear what he's saying.
I'll turn it up.
The odd word.
Perhaps
Is that
I mastered
vocals you
it.
bought? That's not one of you, is it? But-
No, there was a free
Oh.
download. There's not even a
It's
chorus on
like-
this. It just raps, and then there's some like like
You
chorus.
haven't
and
done
nothing.
anything. You're just taking some guy's rap and put a tune behind it.
Hey, I played the guitar.
Why
I
am
made.
reacting to this.
We made the song,
I suppose.
Right, we'll keep going.
not the vocals.
Right, so the first.
The vocals could be louder.
Yeah, they are quiet. I think that's why I never like put it on services, you know. So this is supposed to be the chorus.
Yeah, but we didn't have anything for the chorus.
No, and I didn't bother trying to sing anything. I think it was a time where I didn't have a music studio to sing in.
Yeah, soul, pride. You ever been given a sign? This mind I made is mine. I choose to scale it by design. Soul, pride.
I don't think
You
that
ever been
I like it. Do, 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 but I don't think it matches the lyric. If it was a different sound that
Yeah.
did that, what would you call
Yeah.
it? Tune. Do, 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 do. Even if it was just it could just be a guitar, like it would
Yeah.
sound. That sounds like Banjo Kazooie style, which might be going for because you made a lot of songs around that time, which were like, like almost game-like, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video game sort of. But I
think-
just don't think it matches. But it's good.
I had a vision in my head of
I
like
get
trying to fuse like rock and
Halloween.
rap, so that's why I had the guitar in it. I was trying to do some sort of Linkin Park stuff,
Yeah.
but it didn't really work. Perhaps if there was no guitar, it would work better with the dit thing.
But it is very like spooky, you know, 4
Yeah.
spooky 6 me or whatever.
I'm getting basically spooky skeletons vibes.
Yeah.
But then
and
you've got this
maybe
guy.
That's kind of how we were going for, like, because
Yeah.
Yeah, which-
315, which is like bones. It literally says
And this is-
bones.
Yeah,
It's like fair enough because this is what we always say when you guys comment on videos and we go, "Oh, that's not very good," and I go, "Well, maybe that's what they were going for." And
Yeah.
you go, "The voice is a bit too
Yeah.
raspy, and you couldn't hear it." And it's like, "But that's maybe
Maybe
what
that's
they were
what
going
wanted.
for."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
This was like 5 years ago. I can't remember.
I've
Maybe
reviewed
not.
stuff in the past where I said I wasn't a fan of the way it was sung, and they've just been like, "That's fine. That's what we wanted." I've been like, "Okay, you know." At the end of the day, I'm just one guy.
Well.
You can't please everyone.
You
with
can't.
Music.
But that's
it.
that's a good point of them taking criticism well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even like the most loved band in the world, Beatles, there are still like people who don't like that. You know, music is the most opinionated like art form out of all of them, isn't it? I don't know about the art world really. I mean, Ben, you might know a bit more about the art world. I'm not sure, but what's it like in terms of criticism?
Finger paintings.
I don't know. Why would I know?
Well, your dad does a lot of art, doesn't he? And
Yeah,
Art
well,
is
I don't
subjective.
know.
Every form.
Yeah,
of it.
that's one
Beauty is
thing.
in the eye of the beholder.
yeah,
That is one thing, isn't it?
One
It's
man's
more
finger
about,
painting is another man's Picasso.
yeah,
yeah. It's
can
subjective
quote me on that.
completely, 100% subjective. In it, I think that's why art might be a little bit. Some art might be a little bit pretentious because it's like modern art. It doesn't really. I know it's supposed to like provoke thoughts, but I think some people just like it because it's popular.
yeah. If there's a popular
And
artist and a lot of buzz around them, they could make
Yeah,
something that somebody else could make who's not known.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, I really like it," and blah blah, and
Yeah.
then they'll say some things. But then if that same guy who wasn't popular showed it, would they say the same stuff?
See, I've seen
like it could-
videos of, sorry, Scott, but I've seen videos of people, they go into like the Tate Modern and they put up like a blank canvas, just, without security seeing them. They put up a blank canvas and they put up a little fake blurb about it. And people go up and, look at it and be like, "Oh, yeah, it's really good." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's literally people are being told that something is good because it's in a specific specific gallery. But actually, is it?
It's human nature
But-
though to like what other people like, or to deliberately go against what other people like. It's human nature.
Yeah.
Sports that nothing would be popular because everyone would be like, he only likes it because he likes it. It's literally human nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
If other people like something, you're more likely to go, "Oh yeah, okay. No, I see what you're saying now," or you don't because you don't identify with the group of people that do. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, music's always been the connecting thing it goes back to tribes and everything. Music brought people together. And now it's almost like we've gone into tribes of music, isn't it, in terms of what we like. So like in like people who like more rap than rock and everything, it kind of became that.
All them rock tribes.
Yeah, damn the rock tribes.
Damn them rock tribes.
They're still in the Stone Age with their rock. But yeah, it is really like, I think it's the most popular kind of art form, isn't it? Music, out of all art forms.
Yeah,
and it's the most heavily criticized. But going back to what you say about like if someone popular or somewhere popular put up a piece of art just randomly to see what people would say to it, it can kind of be the same with a very popular music artist. It could be like some really famous artist release a song that isn't that great or is okay, and there'll be people, fans out there that'll be like, "That's incredible," and actually it's really
like
not.
That Kanye West song where he's like scoopity poop, skibbity poop.
I was actually going to talk about, 4 or 5 seconds where it's like Rihanna and Paul McCartney and everyone's in it. It's 4 or 5 seconds from Wildin', that one.
Yeah.
And it's got that really weird like child voice in it. And it's one of his most popular songs. You go on like Spotify or anything, it's one of his most popular songs on there. And
yeah, I like that one.
I just cannot get into. I like it until it's like, and it's got that weird voice.
I like it because one, Rihanna's singing on it and that, and it's good voice by the Blood Bar. But obviously the lyrics, it's about getting to the weekend as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
which we all like.
But I think the question is if that was released by someone you didn't know. Let's say we were asked to react to that. Would we like it as much?
Well, for one, if we're saying it's an independent artist, it wouldn't have been produced at half the quality, would it?
I don't know, because we've heard
it's
some
not a great quality songs production.
Yeah, we've heard some production, like some very high quality production songs.
Everything's crisp, everything's mixed right. You know what I mean? That sort of production is what I'm saying. Like,
we have heard independent artists with music like that.
Yeah, I mean, production's a tricky one because I've heard some songs with not great production. I really like the kind of quality of that production, the raw sound, and then I've heard some really overproduced stuff as well. But that 4 or 5 second song is kind of almost deliberately recorded badly. I think Paul McCartney came into the studio and just literally stood in front and just played the guitar like 1 or 2 takes, and that was it. So it doesn't sound great. But people love it. I don't.
But to answer your question, no, it wouldn't be as popular, would it? Because that's how popular things work, aren't they?
Yeah.
Someone's already popular, it's going to get more more people to it, innit?
Yeah. And you kind of get to a point where you can put out something that's not as, that's could be half baked and people would like it. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep listening to this amazing song. I don't think too much else happens in this, to be honest.
No,
I think from the start, you've kind of heard the whole song. So I'll skip ahead.
Breakdown, isn't there?
We got the chorus again with no singing, which I'm actually thinking inspired to remove the vocals if I can find this and do something on it. It's an okay beat. Might remove the guitar.
Maybe change some of the sound since.
For me, it's everything's good, but it's not good. But whatever you call that beat,
It's a haunted house vibe, isn't it? It's like Luigi's Mansion
If you
vibe.
got rid of that, it would change the whole feel of the track of not being Halloweeny.
Yeah.
And when I say got rid of it, I just mean change the sound of that.
Yeah, this is like the weird breakdown here. Still spooky vibes.
That's like an Eminem. That's like an Eminem.
Yeah.
D12.
Yeah. Welcome to my club. There you go.
You can actually hear, Eminem on that. And then back to the chorus that has no vocals. And it ends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got some critique on there, and I think, because I'm not really bothered about the song, I'm not bothered about your critique, to be honest. And I think if I'd released this and say, right, this is the first single on my album, and you had said the same things, like I'm not a fan maybe of the vocals, it sounds a bit too much like a haunted mansion and stuff like that, I might feel a little bit more butthurt because I'd put time and effort into releasing it, social media, everything like that. So I can see why some people might find it hard to take the criticism from a reaction video later on after having done all that work, compared to
imagine how bad it'd feel if you just finished that off and you were both rubbing your hands going, this is the best thing we've ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, in your eyes, it might be. You know what I mean?
I've got songs I've got on Spotify, Apple Music now that I listen to back and I'm like, I wish I'd done something differently there, or I don't actually like this anymore, because tastes change, and but I do like to look back at it as a kind of like, that's my journey, that's where I was at that time. That's fine. So yeah, but I used to hate it when I was making stuff when I first started, and Scott, you probably remember how bad the production was and other things on the video, on the stuff we used to make.
Just the equipment we had was what.
It's not as good as it is these days.
14-years get older.
Yeah. But I remember like the criticism I'd get about it, and I'd be in this kind of like quiet rage for a while about it. So it can be hard for anyone to take criticism.
Yeah. Exactly. You didn't stop though, did you, Callum?
No, unfortunately.
You're still releasing shit to this day.
That's a good place to end it.
We've been the Breakfast B&B. Goodbye.